Hey up everybody, Betty's back again. Right, today we're doing a nice hot dish, a pork vindaloo with potatoes, and I'll be serving that with just some shop bought flatbreads. So I'll show you the ingredients and let's get cracking. Okay, so I've scaled this recipe down a bit because it's only for me and man. Normally you'd have a bit more of the stuff, but I've scaled it down. So I've got 2 pork shoulder steaks there, which I'm going to use, 2 potatoes, 2 medium onions. I'm going to have 6 garlic cloves, a piece of ginger, 6 bird's eye or red chilies, 2 bay leaves. We have fenugreek, cumin, coriander, paprika, not smoked, English mustard powder, turmeric. Obviously, I'll tell you the measurements for that when we're doing it. 500 mils of water, some vegetable oil, some red wine vinegar. So let's get cracking with it. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I've chopped my pork steaks up into cubes, and I'm going to put 2 teaspoons-ish of salt, flaked sea salt, going into there, and 100 mils of red wine vinegar going into here. And we're going to give that a smush about. And this will help tenderize your pork. So that's going to now get covered up, and it will go into the fridge for at least 2 hours, longer if needs be. If you can leave it longer, the better. Okay, so let's crack on with the paste bit now. I've very thinly sliced these onions. I've done it with a mandolin. If you can't, just get it as thin as you can with a knife. And I've got them so they're quite thin. That's 2 medium onions. So we're going to put these into the oil on a low heat, and we're going to just fry them off for about 15 minutes or so until they're soft and cooked through. Let me find a spoon or something. There we go. It's like a lot of onion, but most curries start off with a good onion base. And by the way, this is quite a hot curry, obviously a vindaloo. So just bear that in mind. So I'll come back in about 15 minutes when these are done. A nanosecond for use. Okay, so while the onions are frying there, I've roughly chopped my garlic, my chilies. They're not seeded, so chilies with the seeds and all, and my garlic roughly chopped. So these are going to go into here, into the food processor blender. If you haven't got one of these, use a pestle and mortar to do it. Right, so that's going into there. Right, so tablespoons. So 1 tablespoon of English mustard. And that's just empty the tin. So we need some more English mustard powder. So I will keep that out, ready for when we go shopping. Okay, that's 1 tablespoon, by the way, of English mustard. Right, so it's now onto teaspoons. Where's my teaspoons? So 1 teaspoon. 1 tablespoon of English mustard powder. 2 teaspoons. I can't speak. Hey, dear me. So it's 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. I forget the extra loose. 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. Done. 2 teaspoons of ground coriander. That's that. Paprika, 1 heat teaspoon. Well, that's just short, so I've got some more in the cupboard, so I'll get that out in a minute. 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric. And 1 teaspoon of fenugreek. It's supposed to have ground cinnamon in here as well, but unfortunately I can't find any, so I'm going to have to omit that. I'm very sorry. Right, so I need ground fenugreek as well. So there's 2 things on the shopping list. Right, 1 second, I'll be with you in a second. Right, so basically we're going to blend that up into a paste, hopefully. Let's just give it a go, see what we get. Just have a look. It's not very paste-like, but yeah, chilli, ginger, mustard powder, cumin, going in there, fenugreek. I'm just making sure that I put everything in. Right, I think that's about it. Oh, it's a tight fitting lid, that, like. Just have a look. I'm just going to add just a little splash of water in there. I'm not sure whether this machine was designed to do this, but there you go. Anyway, that's that bit done. Anyway, that's what you're looking for, something like that. I maybe should have done it in the small food processor there. But yeah, that's what you're looking for. Okay, so these onions have had a good 15 minutes, softened right down. So I'm now going to add the paste into here. And we're going to cook that with the onions for a good 2 or 3 minutes. Should all come together. I've had a little taste of that paste, and it's because the chilies were wet de-seeded. It's quite fiery. So I'll come back in a second when I've cooked those out. Right, so I've transferred that into an oven-proof dish now. The oven is on at 180. That's 180 fan. Sorry, 180 degrees, fan 160, gas mark 4. So that is nicely coming along. So the pork that I had marinating in the vinegar, I've now sieved that and reserved the liquid. The vinegar, I've reserved that. So the pork is now going into our pan. And I'm going to just fry this and seal this off on a medium-ish heat. I would say 3 to 4 minutes, or until everything's sealed nicely. I'm going to say that's at about 4 minutes. So that's all nicely sealed now. So In next is our reserved liquid from our the marinade for the pork. That's going in there. Our 500 ml of water is going in there. And our 2 bay leaves are now going into there. Give it a smush around. Tell you what, that smells absolutely banging. Right, so I'll bring this up to a simmer and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so that's coming up to the simmer now. So I've just cut out a little piece of parchment paper. Just stick it over the top there, like so. Lid on, and it's into our oven for 45 minutes. Okay, so that's had its 45 minutes. So now I'm going to go in with our potatoes once I've drained them off. So there's the 2 potatoes that I obviously peeled and chopped up. So they're going into there now. That's just about right for me and Mand. Obviously, like I said, I scaled this down a little bit. Scaled it down a little bit for us. So it's back on with the parchment paper. Keep the moisture in. Back on with the lid, and it's back into the oven for 50 to 60 minutes until the potatoes are cooked. There we go, it's now out of the oven. It's had its 55 minutes and the potatoes are cooked. So that will now be reheated this evening for our tea. So I will catch you guys later on. Nanosecond for you. Okay, so that is the Vindaloo nicely warmed back up. I've reduced the sauce down a little bit. And it's all ready for taste testing time. Right, so there you have it. My lamb and potato vindaloo served with some flatbreads. All ready to go. So you know what time it is. It's triple tea time. And guys, like I said, you can serve this with whatever you want. Obviously you don't really want it with chips because there's potatoes in there. But you could have it with rice or like these flatbreads that we're having it with. So I'm going to try a little bit of pork first. Wow. Oh, that's good. Just enough heat to slap you in the face, but not like be overpowering. I'm going to go in for the potato. The sauce is absolutely...
If you like this potato, then it's a good curry.
Whoa. Oh yeah, the potato's a good addition in there actually. Just to bulk it out a little bit. That is really good. So if you like a vindaloo and a nice curry, that's the one to have. Reasonably good for you. So I'm just going to try just a little bit with this flatbread. Just dunked in the sauce. Like all good curries, it starts off with a load of onions. That's the secret, isn't it? I remember reading that and watching that somewhere from Indian chefs. Oh yeah. That is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right. So I'm going to sit down and finish that off. Watch a bit of telly. Up early again in the morning, so it won't be too long before I go to bed. I'm going to just finish work. The joys, eh? So again, thank you everybody for all your likes, all your comments, all your subscriptions, and all your lovely recipe ideas. It is truly appreciated. Everything that you do for us. Just make sure you hit that like button more than anything, because it really helps us with both our channels. So I'm going to call it a night, and I will catch you guys very, very soon. Catch you later, bye.
See you later.
Bye.